So 8 senators who caucus with Democrats have broken rank with their party to advance a Republican plan to end the shutdown. A vote is still to come. The measure would then head to the House for final passage.
So the group is doing this despite getting no guarantees on their one big demand. That was an extension of the tax credits for Obamacare subsidies. And that's drawing fury from some fellow Democrats. After 40 days of furloughs, though, and flight cancellations, the group says it was simply time.
Let me just say this. With the government open, we can focus on passing a full bipartisan budget for 2026.
I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement, but waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome.
It was our judgment, after 6 weeks, going on 7 weeks of this shutdown, that path wasn't working.
Aishah Hasnie has the latest from Capitol Hill, and I'm sure that those senators can smell jet fumes and the possibility of being able to leave.
Hey, Dana and Bill, good morning to you. It's been a stunning couple of hours here on Capitol Hill. Think about this. Think about the No Kings rallies, the massive rallies nationwide. Think about 40 days of a government shutdown. Think about last Tuesday's election results. All for what? The Democrats accepted an offer that was always on the table. There is about to be a reckoning in this party when the House comes back to the Hill. Here's what happened last night. 8 centrist Senate Democrats, they voted alongside Republicans to break the filibuster, and that unlocks the door to ending the government shutdown. Here's the deal. It is a CR, a continuing resolution to fund the government through the end of January. It restores SNAP benefits. It rehires workers who were laid off during the shutdown, and it also passes a couple of funding bills. The shutdown deal skips their crown jewel, the whole reason they were fighting in the first place, to extend the Obamacare subsidies. Instead, they got a promise to hold a vote on it in December. Let me be clear about this. It's not a vote right now. There's no guarantee it's going to pass, no guarantee the House would ever even take it up. Here are some of those Democrats explaining why they voted yes.
It wasn't working. How long would it take to not get a response to say it isn't working?
There was no vote that we were going to get on the Affordable Care Act, premium tax credits. We have a guaranteed vote by a guaranteed date on a bill that we will write, not that the Republicans will write.
Democratic base is furious. There are folks out there that are calling for Chuck Schumer's head for not holding out on this. And Dana, this is just the first big step. The Senate now has to try to come to a time agreement to skip a bunch of other Senate steps to get to the final passage. If they can pass it today, maybe tomorrow, they can send it over to the House, and then the Speaker will recall the House, bring everybody back, and then they'll try to get it done sometime this week. Dana?
Aishah, thank you so much.
So Byron York now here to talk about this, following you on X all weekend. Byron, let's talk about the fallout. Democrats did not have the votes. In fact, they've never had the votes for this.
You know, it's been a rocky road, but the end result of this has been clear from day one, which is the party that loses a government shutdown is the party that attaches conditions to reopening the government. In all of our shutdowns, we've had one party that says, oh, my issue is so important that I simply cannot allow the government to keep functioning until we address it. And the other side says, well, wait a minute, let's get the government running and then we'll talk about your issue. And the party that attaches the conditions is the party that always ends up giving up because the public gets tired of the government being shut down. This one went longer than most, and the public is really tired of it.
You know who else is tired of it, or tired of each other? It's the Democratic Party. Most of the headlines today are about Democratic infighting, which I think is to the Republicans' benefit, and the Democrats are going to have to go through this one way or the other. Ro Khanna, the congressman from California, said this: Senator Schumer is no longer effective and should be replaced. If you can't lead the fight to stop health care premiums from skyrocketing for Americans, what will you fight for? And then that governor from California, Governor Newsom, he said this: tonight's Senate vote on the federal government shutdown should have been a time for strength. Instead, we saw capitulation and a betrayal of working Americans. The American people need more from their leaders. And that's actually mild. If you saw what some of the other Democrats were saying, they used a lot of words that begin with the letter F.
This is just incredible. It's Monday morning. Last Wednesday morning, we were talking about Democrats savoring their victory, having gotten over their slump, having new momentum. That's all we were talking about 5 days ago. And now it's Democrats involved in a bitter civil war. Well, these are tensions that always existed inside the Democratic Party between its progressive wing and a dwindling number of people who call themselves centrists. And we just saw it. We basically have 40 Democrats in the Senate who wanted to hang tough and keep this shutdown going forever, apparently, and 7 or 8 of them who decided that it was time to give in. That's the fight inside the Democratic Party, and it's not going away all the way through their presidential nominating process.
Thank you, Byron. Still need to put some oil in the gears, but they'll do that step by step in the Senate, the House, and then eventually the Oval Office. Thank you.
I believe none of those senators that we just put
Thank
up,
you,
I
guys.
don't think any of them have an election next year.
Might be right about that. Dick Durbin's one of them leaving, too. All right, thank you, Byron. Nice to have you.
Thanks.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.